What's good, y'all? We back. As you see, I have a guest over here, but we are back for the challenge episode 7. This was a good but sad episode for me, especially the ending. We'll get to it, but y'all know what we're here for. Thumbs up the video, drop the comments down below. Drop the comments down below. I will talk to y'all this time, I promise. But yeah, let's go ahead and get on into it. So we get back from the elimination where Wes won. So he's now on the blue team. Tiffany is now realizing like the vets got a lot of blue. Like a lot of the blue team is vets now. So she's already expecting like if they get in power, it's going to be a steamroll of the vets trying to do what they're trying to do and what they were trying not to let them do. Cassidy is realizing like, yes, Wes is on my team, but I still don't trust him. He's been trying to get me out. He's been trying to get Chris out. And she knows like, even if they aren't in power, there's still a good chance that she's going to go in and it's going to be by the hands of Wes. So Chris, on the other hand, is optimistic about now being on the green team because the green team only has him, Tyler, and Monte as the dudes with Alyssa and Michaela. And he's looking at it as an opportunity to try to like mend fences with those broken bridges because he was just trying to pop SHIT with Monte and Tyler literally 2 hours before he went into that elimination. Well, was about to go. Well, did he go into elimination? No, he didn't. He was trying to pop that mess 24 hours before. So he knows he's now vulnerable and he now has to figure out a way to get through. And that means making amends with those two. So we get in the other room, Wes trying to gaslight Michaela, which is so funny because he's sitting there pretending to be sad, wanting to figure out how he can get on her good graces and whatnot. Which I just found so funny because he's not used to that. He's not used to having people here that are not eating out of the palm of his hands. Like, Michaela's not one of those girls. Michaela's not one. Desi's not one. And Chanelle's not one. Them three girls is not going to go for any of that. And they all are literally clocking him every single episode, and especially Michaela, because he knows Michaela's smart. He knows Michaela is a physical beast in this game. And he knows it's best to have her on his side as opposed to her being against him. And he knows she's already against him, and he knows there's nothing else that he can do to stop that. Because Michaela is not here for these challenge vets. Like, she knows leaving them in the game is the dumbest thing you can do, and she's not stupid. She knows she got to get him out. And Michaela wasn't falling for none of that crap that he was trying to spit her way. Wes knows that she's anti-vet. Like, she wants them all out. And the whole time, Michaela's unbothered. Like, he's sitting there trying to say stuff to get her to let him in, and she ain't paying him no mind. She don't care what he's talking about. Michaela says she I don't trust nobody in here. She's like, I ain't making the same mistakes that I've made the previous shows that I've been on. So she just like paying him no mind. We get a little boring and Alyssa Tyler scene, which I didn't jot nothing down because it's nothing of substance. And then we get Michaela. She's in the room working out and whatnot, and we get her little backstory. This is when you knew that Michaela was eventually going to be in an elimination because they gave like her backstory about how the fans, me included, were excited to see her on a challenge last time she played, and for her to go home early, it was disappointing, which it was. If you know and have been a long-time viewer of mine, you know I started recapping that season of the challenge because she was on it. And when she left, I was like, peace. I ain't got nothing else to say. Because she was the main reason why I wanted to watch. And then that season got boring to me anyway. But she wants to do it to make her fans proud, but she really wants to make her godfather proud. And her godfather had recently passed, so that's what she's doing it for. And she knows she's getting closer and closer to the final. She just wants to get there. She will. She will. Michaela is dope. But we get to the daily challenge. Tyler's trying to avoid the green team losing. Like, he wants to make sure that they win because he knows for a fact either way, if they don't win, they're going in the elimination. And if they don't win that, they're going home. And if they do win that, they're going to defect another team, which is going to make the green team just continue to crumble and dwindle down. So they get there. TJ tells them they're playing this game called Wreck and Roll. Don't hold this against me if I have the entire point of the game wrong, at least the instructions or whatever of what to do with the game, because I don't be paying attention to that, really. I truly don't. But from what he's saying, there's two of the players that starting this like big spear, and they basically are like rolling it to smash into these columns that are their color. They have these like two tires at the top of the pole. They call them columns, but it's really a pole. The two at the top, and they have like a letter on it. So they have to knock them all down, and whoever's not in the ball is grabbing those tires back to their station because they got a puzzle. And once they get all of those tires over there and knock over all of them, they have to go over there and complete the puzzle, which is basically to spell 10 words all around, diagonal, sideways. Whichever team finishes first, they win. I would be the one in the tire rolling it, because when it comes to, well, I could bring it over there, but in terms of like doing all that fast, not likely. I would be the one sitting there watching. But Cory and Chanelle, they're in there knocking the tires off of their team. Josh, Tiffany, and Michele are trying to get the puzzle pieces together. Michaela wants complete safety because she knows with this 50-50 stuff, she knows for a fact they're hot targets. They're going to be in the elimination, especially her, because if you're looking at green team, it's only her and Alyssa ain't nobody that – Alyssa don't scare nobody. Michaela is the biggest threat in this game besides Desi and Chanelle. So – and Tori, essentially, even though I don't like Tori, but she should be a hot target. So that's just what it is. Michaela wants to win. She don't want to be gambling with her safety. So Wes on the other team knows that blue, there's high chances of them winning because in this particular challenge, more hands are better than the more hands on a team are better than less hands because they're bringing all these tires back, and if they got more players, they can double up on who's bringing what tire back, as opposed to the other teams not really having that much of a chance, especially the green team, because they only have 5 as opposed to the rest of them. So Wes knows also if they lose, it's a high chance of him going in because he's a high target. So long story short, we're not even going to go through like narrating the whole thing. Blue team ends up knocking their tires off first. The green team was next behind them, and then it was red. Cory knows that if it's pretty much blue winning because they have more hands. Like this particular challenge is beneficial to have more people on your team than not. So he's already known that they likely gonna win. Michaela knows red and blue are looking out for each other, so she's like hoping that they're gonna be in cohesion when they're trying to get these puzzles together so they can get it done quickly. But of course, blue team ends up winning. Tori is happy because they finally had the numbers on blue team. When I'm saying they, I'm talking about the MTV vets, because it's her, Bananas, Bessie, and Wes versus Desi, Sebastian, and Cassidy. I want to say that's all that's there. Desi would be the only one to challenge them. Cassidy maybe, but Sebastian is eating Tori's you know what, so they're screwed regardless. So this is really the first episode where MTV vets are in complete control. So Tiffany's pissed, obviously, and she gave us another great confessional, as she always does. She's mad because she knows, like, you're not getting a vet out this week. And that's what Tiffany's goal is. That's what Desi's goal is. That's what Michaela and Chanelle's goals are. And they know it's not going to happen. So we get back to the house. Josh, punk ass, bitch made ass, wants to target 2 strong women, survivor women. And it's like, for what? You're not a woman. So why are you worried about women? If it was me in there, I'm trying to get out strong male vets and strong male people that could beat me. You're not competing against the women. You're competing against the men. But we'll get on that later because a couple women brought that up. But he's trying to pit Michaela against Chanelle, because those are the 2 strongest girls that are up for options, because you got Desi on blue team who's in power, and then you got Tori, which he would never vote for Tori. He would only vote for Desi, Michaela, and Chanelle because those are the strongest girls. And those are the strongest girls who are coming for him. Well, not even really coming for him, but just coming for the MTV vets, which he wants to align himself with, because Josh thinks because he did Big Brother a long time ago and has done 5 or 6 seasons of the challenge, he's a vet now. Like, please. Bessie's laying in the middle and basically saying it sucks to have to say Tyler's name, but he knows that he has to do what he has to do to keep the target off his back, which is the difference between Josh. Fessy ain't stupid. Fessy knows where he came from and is playing a game where He's playing a smarter game. This is probably the best I've seen Fessy play the game. And he knows he got to do what he got to do, unfortunately, to keep himself out of hot water. So Josh is trying to convince Cory, Tyler, and Monte, with Tiffany sitting there, to say a Survivor girl's name. Tyler and Monte eating it up, of course, because they don't want to go into the elimination. Tiffany is like, she don't want to go against a Survivor girl, and she knows there's a chance she could. And she really don't want the Survivor girls in there because she's working with them. Like, she's working with all three of them, excluding Michele and Cassidy. But, well, she was working with Michele, but Michele is like, we'll get on Michele in a minute. But Tiffany just does not want to go against one of them because she knows she'll go home. Like, Tiffany against Chanelle, Tiffany against Michaela, Tiffany against Desi. She could win something smart or something that has something to do with mental. She could stand a better chance at that than she would something physical against them three. It's just not going to happen that way. But she wants to go, and she's like, I'll go against the girl, but I got different plans than y'all, a.k.a. Tori. That's who Tiffany would want to go against. But she knows it's not going to happen. But the next scene we get Tiffany, and she's struggling with the fact that she's feeling like she's not an asset to her team because when it comes to these daily challenges, she's not performing the way she wants to. And she feels like she's the weakest part of her team. She starts to get emotional. And Chanelle and Alyssa are there. Chanelle starts comforting her, telling Tiffany, don't be crying because, like, believe in yourself. You got it. Like, you're strong. And Tiffany says she don't like crying because, and that's true, because I don't think I've ever seen Tiffany cry before on the other two shows that she did. And she's like, she don't like crying because she has to be strong. And like, that's just what she knows growing up. Like, she said she lost her dad at 14 years old, and she don't know any other way than just to be strong because it's just her and her kid. And Chanelle is bigging her up. Alyssa is too, telling her she won America's favorite for a reason, which is true. And like I said, Chanelle's telling her, like, it's all mental. Like, tell yourself repeatedly that you can do it because you can. And that's all you got to do is believe in yourself. And that's what she's telling her. So we get to the nominations. Blue team's in there. And of course, MTV's taking over. Like, they got the numbers at this point. So that's what it is. And Bananas straight off the gate telling them he's voting for Michaela because she's one of the main ringleaders on Survivor, pushing for him. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I understand it, but it's just like, yeah, whatever. I don't like it, but you got a point. Tori following suit, of course. Desi's clocking it because it didn't take Tori 2 seconds to say Michaela's name. And she was like, oh, that was fast. Desi ain't stupid. She already know what's going on. Wes then follows suit. Sebastian and Cassidy say they can't say Michaela's name, obviously because she's Survivor, and they don't want to. So they both say Tiffany because they just don't feel comfortable saying Michaela's name. Desi says Alyssa because obviously she ain't voting in Michaela, and she damn sure ain't voting in Tiffany. Desi is real. She's loyal. She ain't voting for the two girls she's working with. She darn sure ain't gonna vote for Chanelle either. So that's where that is. Fessy goes with MTV and says Michaela. So Michaela's outnumbered. My girl's going in. Desi, she ain't happy about it. She's not thrilled, but she's not shocked because she knows if it's not Michaela, she needs to have Chanelle here because those are her two strongest allies next to Tiffany. But in terms of like who's beneficial, who's going to win, who's got more power, definitely Tiffany and Michaela. I mean, not Michaela. Michaela and Chanelle would have better chances of helping Desi out than Tiffany, unfortunately. But they get to the men. Tori says she's comfortable saying Tyler's name. Banana follows suit. Desi's clocking it again. Like, y'all literally done had this whole thing mapped out. And it's funny because Bananas was sitting, well, it wasn't funny. Bananas was sitting there acting like, oh my God, it's like we planned this out. Desi's like, yeah, we know you did. Like, stop trying to act like you didn't do it. But Desi says Monte because she's like, I'm not going with the grain. Like, I'm gonna say what I want to say. And Wes ended up saying Chris, and everybody else was like Tyler. So it's Tyler and Michaela. Those are the two votes. Tyler is trying to drive the narrative of getting a strong woman out of the house because he just don't want to go in, which makes sense. I don't like it, but it makes sense. Alyssa, stupid ass, saying she don't want Tyler to go into the elimination. So she's going to try and do whatever she can to make sure that he doesn't, which would mean making it a women's elimination day, which would make it even bigger of a chance of her going in. And she's hoping that she doesn't go in, but that's what she's going for. And she's like, you going to gamble again with your life in a game for another dude? All right, Alyssa, do what you got to do. Michaela comes out there. She ain't shocked. She in there cutting up, saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm so scared." Like, she is the furthest thing from scared. And it's funny because she immediately leaves and goes walking in there to call out Josh. Josh sitting there trying to act dumbfounded. And Michaela was shutting him down. She like, boy, we all know you've been coming for me. You've been coming for me. You've been coming for Desi. And you've been coming for Chanelle. Like, stop trying to act like you're not the reason why this is happening. And Josh is sitting there saying it's not fair to say it's him because everybody else wanted to target a strong girl. She's saying what I just said at the beginning. It don't make no sense. It makes zero sense for you and any other dude to be coming for a strong girl. What is the purpose? Because y'all are not competing against us. Like, what is the point? And then Josh is sitting there trying to play that stupid game. And Michaela in her confessionals is like, don't come at her with that foolishness. Play your game. Play it the way you want to play it, but keep my name out your mouth. I'm like, get him. Get him. And she was getting him the whole time. Cory was sitting in the corner laughing because he already knew Josh was getting tagged. And that's the thing about Josh. He always wants to pipe up with women. Always wants to get into it with women, which I find so weird. Like, you're a dude. He don't ever have half this energy that he has for these women with these dudes. And if he does anything with the dudes, he's throwing drinks. Like a bitch. Like, I can't stand Josh. But Michaela told him to his face, like, the whole house is protecting you. Like, you got what you wanted. Like, you wanted a woman in here. We know for a fact that you're good in here. And Josh is sitting there claiming it's nothing personal. Survivor is Survivor strong, and Michaela is Survivor strong. And yeah, he's right, but still, it still don't make no sense. And Michaela says it's all good. She'll go to blue team. Like, she'll go to the blue team too. Like, they keep winning, so put me in there because there's a higher chance of me winning anyway. So whatever. So we get the next scene, and Desi is in there filling in Chanelle on what happened in that nomination. And she's like, everybody on blue was like protecting Michelle. She didn't get not one vote. Josh, Cory, they're also being protected. Chanelle was like, okay. And she's like, I'm not even surprised. And she's not shocked about Josh, but she is about Michelle. Because Michelle's been walking around acting like she ain't got no ties with them other people. But Chanelle clocked the fact that you ain't got no vote in 2 weeks. You ain't getting a vote in 2 weeks, and you already got voted in the elimination. You doing something. And you doing something behind the scenes. And like clockwork, in walks Michelle. And it's just like, okay, here we go. And she's sitting there acting like she is completely dumbfounded, clueless, didn't know what was going on. And Desi fills her in. She's sitting there playing clueless. Michelle said, like, in her confessional, if you're not questioning somebody's loyalty, you're not playing a good game. And she ain't lying about it. But she knows she can't protect Survivor, so she knows she got to do what she got to do to keep herself safe. I respect it. Don't like it, but I respect it. So they all ended up going out. Bananas and Wes, they're bored, so they try to make it a plan to get Tyler and Alyssa to kiss, which should not have been that hard. All you had to do was tell them to do it, and they would have done it, especially Alyssa. But they put Alyssa to the side, told her the only way to save Tyler is she goes over there and kisses him. And that was easy for her to do. She ends up doing it. Everybody's looking. Tiffany's laughing and twerking on Johnny while they sitting there kissing and whatever. And they go back to the house. They had their little moment. Boring, nothing of substance. So we get to the secret vote. And then we got Michelle talking about how she don't want to take a shot at Survivor, even though she's aligned with them, but she ended up picking Tiffany, Snake, because you're supposed to be working with her. You could have easily chosen who else is up for grabs. She could have chosen Alyssa, but she didn't. So Monte ends up saving Michelle because he had to choose between Michelle and Chanelle, and he chose to save Michelle because he feels like she'll protect him more than Chanelle, which I don't understand that, but okay. Tiffany ends up voting in. She says she's going to vote with Big Brother, even though she don't trust Josh. They didn't show who her vote was, but Cory ended up voting for Tiffany. Michaela ends up voting for Monte. That's my girl. Tyler said he's trying to make it a girl day, and he ends up voting in Chanelle. So we get to the elimination, and which I think is crazy too, because maybe Tyler thinks Michaela was going to beat Chanelle, but I'm sitting here thinking in my mind, what if Chanelle was to beat Michaela? You only got Alyssa over there, which is not a benefit to your team, but whatever. So they get to the elimination, and the votes are revealed. Tiffany got 2. She was expecting 1, so that second one was like, "What? What's going on?" Monte got 1 vote, which we know was Michaela. Alyssa got 1 vote. Josh got 1 vote, and he's immediately on defense, like, and immediately knows it's Chanelle, which is like, why are you mad? Like, why are you mad? Like, why are you mad? And Cory ended up getting 1 vote. He wasn't bothered by it. And Chanelle ends up getting 4 votes, obviously. So Michelle is relieved because her name's not even in the hopper, which proves Chanelle's point again. And Chanelle, I'm very happy with Chanelle. Like, I thought Chanelle, just following the show, coming leading up to it, like the spoilers and whatever, I thought Chanelle was gonna be up here like eating them vets behinds. And I don't know why I did, because I watched her season of Survivor and she was not that type of person that was going to run to power. Like, she got sent home because she was trying to do her own thing. So I don't know why I was thinking that, but I'm happy that Chanelle is still playing and still that same girl. But what else happened? They ended up doing the hopper or whatnot. So it ends up being Michaela versus Tiffany, which pisses me all the way off because both of those are my 2 girls and they both bring the entertainment. So either way, we're losing somebody of value. So they wanted a strong girl elimination, which I found funny because they didn't get it. Because that's an easy win for Michaela. Like, I love Tiffany to death, but that's an easy win for Michaela. Like, they wanted to get Chanelle and they have 4 options or at least 4 votes in there and still didn't get it done. So that's the fun part. But that's the sad part too, because I'm gonna end up losing Tiffany. Tiffany goes down there. Michaela and Tiffany obviously are not happy about it because they're working together. They like each other. They're friends. And Josh wanted Chanelle in there and realizes that he gonna end up losing Tiffany. Tiffany turns around and goes off on everybody up there. I want to make it a point to say everybody up there. And when I say everybody, she's talking about everybody. Because she's saying to the girls and the guys, strictly talking to the guys, really, but she ain't put no name on it. That's the thing. So keep that in mind. She started going off, saying that they always want to make it a girls' day because they're scared to go down in there and play, which is the truth. They are scared to go down there and play than men. They keep kicking the women out. It's not even the women that's there kicking their ass. It's the dudes that's kicking their ass. So if anything, you need to put 2 strong dudes down here to get the niggas out that you're scared of. And that's what she's basically saying. And of course, the only man up there that opened his mouth was who? Josh. Why are you always piping up with women? Why you couldn't be like the rest of them dudes up there and just sit up there and let her talk and then let her play in the elimination? He always had to jump in and add his 2 cents when it comes to women, which I cannot stand a man. I can't stand a dude that does that. That's so bitch made to me. Like, why are you sitting here arguing with women? Like, what is the point? And Tiffany goes off at him because she's like, I'm not even talking to you. Like, I didn't single you out, but since you want to take everything personal, I'm gonna give you what you asking for. She lit him up, shut him down, like said, stop talking to me. I'm the one down here and it's saying you got all this energy, get your ass down here and play in. And I'm like, I feel that because you want to pipe up so much. Get down here and get that energy out in here. Like, why am I the one down here? But they ended up going to the elimination. It's called top heavy. They're strapped up against a pole. You have to shift back and forth to get to their ball. Once they get their ball, they got to shoot it in the basket, basically playing basketball. First person to score 10 points wins. Tiff couldn't get it done. Michaela blew out the water. So Tiffany goes home, unfortunately. Michaela gets to defect. So it's her turn to finally get to defect. And of course, Michaela was going to do what we all wanted her to do and what we all want to happen, because Michaela is the one girl who is smart enough to see what's going on and smart enough to do what she wants to do to get herself to the end, which is to weaken Tori. Because she was going to go take Tori's spot on blue and put her on the green team where she has a higher chance of going home. And of course, like clockwork, the format changes. It's no longer teams. It's individual. Pissed me off. Like, pissed me off. I was so mad. It's like the one time she was about to be at risk, they changed it. But it's an individual game. And I'm excited to see how this goes from this point forward. It was another good episode. Let me know what y'all think. Drop your comments down below. I'm so glad there was no episode yesterday. I hope they're back to like this one episode a week because I can't do it. But yeah, let me know what y'all think. Drop your comments down below, and I will see y'all. I was gonna say Thursday, but y'all know I don't film these on Thursday. Probably next Sunday, Monday. See y'all then. Peace.